Believe it or not, we have a positive outlook on new home builds and rates are falling. All next. Yes, we're also going to go over all the news that are happening this week on the Kobesi Letter, all next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you the best 5 to 10 minutes in real estate on a daily basis. Now, let's jump right into it. What does this week have to offer that could really change the market? Well, let's jump into it. Kobesi Letter as we start the week off. Here we go. Key events. Market closed. It was Martin Luther King Day yesterday. I think almost everybody had that off. But let's go really look at this. Retail sales data is coming out tomorrow. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which has been getting crushed, meaning that we're not manufacturing much in the United States. It keeps going down. Layoffs keep coming up. So it doesn't make any sense to even know that the job market is robust as some in the White House think it is. The MI consumer sentiment data, it says existing home sales on Friday, which is going to be very, very key. I think the home sales have done a little bit of a bump, but there's just such little inventory. It doesn't even really matter what they say. It's going to find out what's happening in January. I know that for a fact that as I did the numbers here in Southern California, which is Riverside, San Bernardino, LA, and Orange counties, we're looking at a lot of property starting to hit the market. You know, so this last week was a very robust week for actives, and that was really good because when I went to those open houses all weekend, we just saw so many people show up. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of stuff going into escrow in the next 10 to 14 days, but we still need to see quite a lot more inventory hit the market. There is no shortage of buyers, I'll tell you that much, and they are back and they are out as we see interest rates go down. All right, let's jump into another Kobesi Letter. This is crazy, man. I mean, and go give them a follow on X. When I look at this, this is since 2020. So this is in 3 years. It says inflation rise above 9% for the first time in 40 years. Okay, the second and third largest bank collapses in U.S. history. And we're probably going to see more bank collapses this year, especially on smaller banks. Oil prices went from 40 to 100 plus. Now they're back in the 70s, mid 70s, high 70s. Fastest Fed rate interest rate hike cycle of all time. I mean, they just went nuts. Least affordable housing market in history. Over $8 trillion in federal debt borrowed, and that number just keeps going up. This Congress, I should say, and the president cannot stop spending money. Janet Yellen just can't keep the bonds moving faster than she's ever done before, maybe ever in history, selling bonds to get money to just spend it out there on frivolous stuff. It's ridiculous. It says total U.S. credit card debt hits $1 trillion. Mortgage demand at the lowest since 1995. If you were to read this and not live this moment, but say this was the prediction of the future, you would be saying we are in a depression. Guess what? Yet all 3 market indices are entering all-time high territory. So stock market's on fire, okay? So that means that the haves are out there spending and going out and just doing what they want to do and having the time of their lives. And the have-nots are just simply getting by every single month to month. And this is why I say over and over, one of the biggest indicators of wealth going into the future, the have and have-nots, the middle class being torn in half. You own a home, okay? You either own a home or you don't own a home. And that's a big difference. A lot of you who bought a home a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they have 10, 20, 30, 50%, of an equity in their homes. Hundreds of thousands of dollars here in Southern California. And the people that didn't, they rented, they keep just throwing their money away and they continue to be in a bad situation. Their wealth is definitely not as high as someone who owned a home. That's just that. And I'm not saying for everybody, but I'm saying for most people. All right, let's jump into CNBC. It's funny, market closes down more than 200 points, but it says new home market projected to experience positive growth, says Taylor Morrison CEO Cheryl Palmer. So she's been pretty optimistic about it. We're pretty optimistic about it. This is also going to go kind of connect with the Fed maybe lowering rates, or we're seeing rates go down, meaning that we're experiencing a little bit of easing out there in the credit market, especially in the mortgage interest rate market. And so where are we at with that? Let's go take a look at it. And I mean, come on, guys. Last Friday, we saw a big drop, 9 basis points down to 6.57 on conventional. But look at another 7 basis points on FHA, 6.376. Guys, if you're out there shopping and you really have, I would definitely go to 2 or 3 or 4 different lenders and really shop that rate, because I think you can get in the low 6s, and some of you with really good credit and with bigger down payments can get into the high 5s right now. And we see this. I mean, let's go look at this trend. I mean, this little graph right here just shows it. We hit 8, bounced off of that double top right there, and then we kind of went down. So we saw at the end of October in the 8s. November, we went right back up to 8 on the 13th, but look at since then. It's just been a downward trend, wham, 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 and here we are right here with conventional and FHA. It's sitting way down here. So we went from 7.5s all the way down to, again, we're in the mid to low 6s. This is where we want to see it, guys. We just want to see it. And if we can get below this line right here, 6% line right there, I think we'll see a lot more inventory hit the market. I see a lot more buyers coming out, because affordability is based upon interest rates as is part of the formula. If interest rates are at 8 and they go to 6, the affordability becomes much more looser. It's not tighter. Okay, it's looser. So people don't understand that. If it's unaffordable at 8%, some people think it's still unaffordable at 6%. No, it's not. Affordability opens up and expands. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I know that every day is just a kind of a struggle out there for some people. Others, they're enjoying their lives. So hopefully we can see kind of a break here. Interest rates will help out a lot on credit card debt for a lot of you out there that have high balances. But also it'll help ease other areas where credit is used to purchase things, such as hopefully food. But we also pray that the events in the Middle East do not escalate. If they do, it's going to be a whole different world that we're going to be in, and we will see inflation just roll right back in. Well, you guys take care, and I will see you tomorrow.